Yeah,
the
no, that's
preacher.
all.
We're right.
We're already
Sam,
married.
are you on?
How good would this be?
Well, let's start.
Sam, are you on?
We can't have two of
You
them.
started?
Yeah, she's on.
Yeah.
If it's red, it's on.
So let's start. So it's that time of year, not to make this any sort of religious preaching, but we should acknowledge one another. I mean that. Like, many of you have no idea who the other person is.
There's name tags up front if you want to put them on later.
So there's 5:30 class people here, there's 7 a.m. class people here, there's coaches here. I mean,
9
Tony's
a.m.
back. It's impressive for us. We call this very often the community. And I think in military, one of the books that my friends have me read is called Tribes. And the kickoff of this talk today, as one of the tribe members and leaders, is to say, look, we are responsible to make this tribe better. We are responsible to make this tribe healthier. And we are 100% committed to doing that. And even if you push back, we can push harder.
Well, we know that.
Yes, Jan, good to see you. So of all of the pictures that I could have chosen, ladies, I chose this as a kickoff. I see one thing, knowing Sam, she'll see something else. Now I see my shirt from that day.
Oh, this is Wednesday.
No. March, I'm assuming
The boys won.
March 25th of 2023. So to give you, now Sam sees this picture and she says, oh my God, we've got to do Battle of the Sexes again. Oh my God, it's another thing we have to do. But I really want you to look, so I just said, where is Peggy? There's Peggy. And then Jan, raise your hand. And then Janet, Mickey, and Ann Unger, Fallon. You realize, you see you?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I am there.
Kathy too. You look amazing, right? Sammy takes her picture, she blows everything up. She's like, wow. How big were these people? They've shrunk over years.
We see you every day. I just
Suzette, you see you. This is the happiest Carolyn has ever been in her entire life. I mean,
on
really.
video.
Hi, I'm on video. Sorry, Carolyn. Where's the video? Yeah, but it's a great, to me. I mean, look, and the only one that's not here because she moved back to Denver is Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
so
Eddie's on her way back.
Eddie Baldwin is
Trying.
up there in the corner. Gene, are you in this shot?
Well,
Were you here for that?
I don't think it was episode.
Trish is not in the photo because Trish is helping us. This is a trivia game.
Yep.
And so the girls just got one right and they're celebrating. And I show you that in a really positive light, but to also say that we're going to do this same meeting 1 year from today. And everybody has to still be standing alive.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's like Ed. That's
Not
like
Weekend at Bernie's.
you're joking around. I'm not joking around, right? Things turn quickly. One of the things we talk about, and we used to use this phrase all the time for years, and we've stopped using it for a while. We used to talk about R&R, right? No, you guys think it's rest and relaxation. I'm in. It's like when I say lunch and you're like, where are we going to lunch? But R&R is resiliency and your reserves. And you have got to bank the hell out of your resiliency and your reserves. I have a physician standing in the front row or sitting in the front row, and Kathy acknowledges with those eyes, we're like, yeah, man, things turn really quickly, right? We've all been through COVID. We've all seen that. There's people in here, she's actually traveling, who years ago just developed an infection. Developed a clot in her leg, an infection. They said she was 24 hours. She would have died. She was septic. And those are things that, quite frankly, kill you quickly. So my message to you guys is, this is not an investment. We're not doing an investment brokerage house here. But you have to bank your health. Now, one of the things that we have really done well, and I'm confident in it, I'm arrogant about it, is the training method. I will argue that all freaking day. But one of the things that we don't have dialed in well, in my opinion, is our total health package, which is, do we hydrate well? Do we sleep well? What does our diet look like? And the reality is, I said this to Sam for years, you cannot train seniors and expect them to do what we want them to do, and then they leave. They eat like crap, they don't sleep, and they don't hydrate. It's almost criminal on our parts, because without that, you will not recover. You will not build muscle mass. So you think you're doing yourself a justice. But quite frankly, I worry about that, what happens when you leave, what you put in your mouth, how much you put in your mouth. Most of you, when we talk about diet and nutrition, you think we're always talking about weight loss. Like sometimes I bring it up and you look down like he's talking about me. I need to lose weight. We're talking about all of us, where we're all trying to layer on muscle mass. So before you leave, I mean this, just like in a church service, extend your hand, introduce yourself. I always say that to people where you never know. If you're on the ground and my back is turned and you need CPR, you better know her name, because I might not be there for 5 minutes. So make sure you're good to your friends and family. Now you take a look over there in the top corner, that piece of wood next to health, and it's bare right now. One of the things that I want to acknowledge, so some of you come here and you have no idea who we are, and that's cool. You have no idea what our backgrounds are, and that's cool. We don't wear a white coat, that's cool. We don't have our diplomas on the wall. It was nice to tell Freddie, Bob the other night, I had no idea he knew my degrees. Bob, yeah, was talking to Freddie about, you realize he has this degree, and that was very nice to hear all that. But this is who we all have to thank right here, right now, for why this place is here. Now, some of you will know who this is. He's currently 86. Sadly, is in a nursing home. He will live his life out in the nursing home. He's in Interlaken, Switzerland. This is my dearest. He's incredibly happy. This is Dr. John Barrett. And for those of you that don't know why we acknowledge him now, first of all, he is probably my surrogate father, my greatest mentor of all time. But listen to why we thank him today. So at age 23, I was a year out of school. It was 1985. Please put things in perspective. Like sometimes you throw numbers around and you throw dates and people are like, I heard, did you say 10 billion with a B? Like people just can't, 1985. Dr. Barrett was a Harvard grad, orthopedic surgeon, and Dr. Barrett said, I am going to create a study for osteoarthritis, and I'm going to mimic the Framingham Heart Study. The Framingham Heart Study, those of you should know, was started in 1948 out of Framingham, Massachusetts. It's now 76 years in its making. The Framingham Heart Study was for what reason? To figure out the causative factors for heart disease. There are now 3 generations. So it would be Gene, Gene's kids, Gene's grandkids, and Gene's great-grandkids. That's how long this study has been going on. In 1985, Dr. Barrett said, I want to do a study on osteoarthritis. And it started. 5,000 people over the course of how many years, Ed? Well, in 30 years, so if you're doing a really good job, yeah, staying with everything, that was 1985. We suddenly got to 2015. What is going on here, Ed? Dr. Baird and I decided that we thought the study should end. We published 21 peer-reviewed in really great journals, Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, Osteoarthritis and Cartilage, on what? Osteoarthritis. I was a part of 5 of those 21 studies. And Dr. Barrett said, look, I don't think we should continue with the study. Our goal was 20 years. You did it 30 years. He said, I want you to do me a favor. Now, at that time, I had been a PT for 31 years. We owned CrossFit Rebels for 5 years. We had been doing CrossFit for 8 years. So I assumed I knew everything, about everything. And he said, I want you to start an exercise program for seniors.
The living members of the study.
Correct. So there are 5,000 members that start. There were 500 that we knew were still alive. So this is us at the Clearwater Country Club. Sam came across this.
It's hilarious.
And this is us at a luncheon. It's a sign-off, right? We're thanking you all for participating in this study, but now we're going to start doing programs and services. We're no longer going to do research. And this is a sign-off.
Were there any of those people? Are there any here?
There's none right here, right now,
Okay.
but there are some that are still with us that were a part of the study, right? 90 years old. She's with us.
Say Eleanor. Eleanor, not
Jo-
Eleanor was not part of the.
Eleanor, were you in the original study?
No, JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo was.
Was Barbara?
What is ARIA?
Thank you for asking. I'm going to go back real quick. The Arthritis Institute of America. The Arthritis Research Institute of America. And thank you for asking on that slide for that. So that's part of our coaches. Now I think Sam looks awesome.
Yeah.
She looks the same.
Yeah.
I had hair.
Ed does not.
I had hair.
That looks different.
Yes.
You look like a chipmunk.
And those,
So
yes,
Paul, Adam,
I just
Mallory.
swallowed an entire turkey. Yeah, but that was our coaching team. And that's literally when we started this program. And my job was what? I said, listen, you remember sitting in the meeting. I said, look, dude, we'll do this, but we own it, meaning we're going to run it. You got it, 100%, you do it. You tell us what equipment you want to buy. And I've told this story 1 trillion times. So the heaviest bar we had, you want to tell them? Do you remember the heaviest
It
bar?
was a 20-pound padded bar. It was called a body bar.
Oh, I know that.
So
Yeah.
you coached them. You remember it.
It's the heaviest bar we had. The heaviest kettlebell we had, I remember, was 53 pounds. We weren't swinging that thing. Are you crazy?
Like deadlifting.
We were deadlifting 53 pounds. That was it. We had Bob.
And then what happened with the kettlebell and the body bar?
Well, then what happened really quickly, we're like, what the hell, Ed? You thought you knew everything about seniors. You're the man. You don't know shit. And so what started happening is they took the 20-pound bar and they were hanging the 35-pound kettlebells, and they got in a line on deadlifting.
Completely dangerous.
Yeah. But having said that,
Watch your
by the
toes.
way, we squatted, we did burpees on some nasty ass carpet. I mean, carpet. It was ugly, it was bad. Right. But that's where this thing started, and really quickly, I will tell you, within about a year, I said to Sam, we gotta tell the world about what we're doing with these people. We have got to tell them what's happening. Because the reality is my profession and coaches throughout are underdosing seniors. And to be really honest, I didn't want to talk about it because I thought I'd get thrown out of my profession. Like, dude, you can't
You're
do
still
this.
cautious, public.
Still cautious. But I got something, and I'm going to have Sam read it.
Oh dear.
And all you got to
There's a
do,
lot of yellow.
just start right
Oh
now.
God.
Listen what this is from. This is from November of 2025. That's pretty recent, Ed. Thank you for noticing. Can you see where it came from, your bottom thumb?
Yeah, the Journal of Active Aging.
Listen to what they were talking about. Active aging, just published. This is what they call a white paper. We used to call it a position paper, right? We're going to tell you our position. These are leaders in the industry for training seniors. This is a compliment now, but just listen. And they're writing to fellow trainers, coaches. Would you please, if you will, and start with the title of the white paper.
Ability, not age. Ending ageist assumptions in physical activity.
Louder.
Ability, not age. Ending ageist assumptions in physical activity programming. I hate titles like that. Okay. These age-based classes may insufficiently challenge participants.
So stop right there. So please, I took an 11-page study and I've highlighted. So what they're saying is, hey, look, man, the way you do this 50 and up crowd, our program's 50 and up, let's use that as an example. The minute you do that, you're sending a bad message. So talk about the messages.
These age-based classes may insufficiently challenge all participants, overemphasize safety with less attention paid to effective and beneficial exercise choices.
Keep going.
Reinforce the negative stereotype that older individuals are less capable.
Keep going.
Promote internalized ageist beliefs, potentially resulting in decreased lifespan.
Did you hear that
That's
sentence? Because it's going to get deeper.
It is.
Yeah, that's awful.
The negative stereotype referenced in the last 2 points not only affects those serving older individuals, but the individuals themselves. If class participants are exclusively offered gentle, low impact, and low challenging activities, they may internalize an insidious message of diminished physical capacity. This internalized self-view of being less than has serious consequences.
Gets better. Gets better.
Damn.
Please, give me what the professor says.
So Yale professor Becca Levy, PhD, conducted research showing that internalized negative age beliefs along with societal ageism may have the effect of reducing people's lifespan by an average of 7.5 years. For individuals, a belief that they are physically inadequate can lead to diminished self-esteem, self-efficacy, independence, and the ability to self-determine. This effect comes from detrimental changes in health behaviors, including physical activity, along with access to care and other factors impacting lifespan. When physical activity leaders lower their expectations of what's physically possible for older adults, they may unintentionally reinforce the damaging effects mentioned above. As well, these leaders may miss vitally important opportunities to maintain and
That's it.
to
That's it. So the point to that is what? I hope you look around. I hope Sam and I never treat you old. And I mean this.
definitely that's not happening.
Yeah.
No problem there.
So
They
this
obviously
is-
didn't visit you.
This is our thank you to you guys. So we're coming up now quickly. You went through the span. So Ed, you were part of a 30-year study on OA. Yeah, we're pretty good on OA. We're getting ready. We're just setting you guys up. I want you to know. You're just getting set up, right? So you want to have conversations about osteoarthritis. Just tighten your belt a little bit, because we've seen a lot of that for 30 years in a study. And then we were asked to start a program. And I just said, we didn't know shit.
And frankly, at Rebels, we had a nice base of 40 to 70. I mean, it wasn't 20% of the box, but it was because we were older. Our base was a little older.
I would agree with that.
It's Florida.
It's Florida.
Heaven's waiting room.
So let's just do, these are a lot of pictures that we use when we're educating coaches. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to ask her to stand up and embarrass her. One, because I like to do that. Maho, would you please stand up?
Maho!
Come on. Maho, please tell the class how old you are. Thank you. You may now sit down, Maha.
I'm so
Maho.
glad you're here.
Everybody's like, why is she here?
Yeah, so Fallon, give Fallon credit.
Everybody does not know Fallon.
Fallon, stand the hell up. Come on.
She hates attention.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I hate it. Liar, liar.
So
How old is Fallon?
Fallon's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 40.
And why do you point
Four.
these young people out? We point these young people out because we are hoping that this is the generation that is going to continue along the way. So, Ed, have you signed your 5-year contract? I've signed my 5-year contract. I know I can still make it for 5 years, Coach. But I'm worried about after 5 years, so we're working on that. And where I was going with this picture, which by the way, does anybody else agree that this lady could be Andy
Yes.
Anderson? Andy, would you please stand?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was funny. I looked over. I wasn't
You
sure of
thought
her
so,
name.
right?
I was just like, oh, where'd you get? That's a great picture
And the
of her.
reason I show you that picture is not to make fun of the lady on the left. So you
Are they
think
the same age?
that's a very good question, and the answer is they're 2 years apart. So I can
Oh,
tell
two
you,
women.
2 years apart.
Who's older?
This lady.
Oh, okay.
You can see that she has, right, you see the pad behind her neck because she has a forward head. You see the heating pad. It's dark, right? You can see that. And I bring that up for a reason. Remember, we are tribal leaders. We have to keep the tribe together. Some people get voted off the island. Our type of training in our tribe doesn't work for everybody. We serve Italian food, not hamburgers and hot dogs, but I love hamburgers and hot dogs. That's up the road. And I say that with this picture because they're 2 years apart, and yet you can probably look and say, you see, now again, maybe one is really ill, right? Maybe one is really sick. But the reality is that what do we see? We see this when you guys walk in. That's what we see. We're blessed because that's what our tribe is.
But we also screen for that in the online
We try to screen for
process.
that.
So
Yeah.
if that walks in and there's a little Eeyore in the room, they may go on the waiting list versus on the waiting list. I'll just admit it. Like, not everybody's right for this
But
program.
don't you think that the karma of the class
Yes.
brings them?
Sometimes.
You hope so. And by the way, you hope so. And I tell other gyms that are trying to build their programs. So I don't have to build my program. Just introduce them to these people.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
give a crap about me. They want to hear about her and her and
Yeah.
her.
The attitude they bring in though, like if we're sitting with somebody and they're not wowed by Ed's pointing out like she's 80 and she's deadlifting, 150, and she's doing this and she's got this and she's doing this, and no, you don't have anything that everybody else hasn't seen. If all they talk about with us is why they can't do this or they're worried about that and they don't want to get hurt,
But
we'll be nice to them, but they'll never make their way in.
But by the way, thank you for that, because it's the tribe
Yeah.
that's keeping everybody's noses clean, right? I mean, it's not just the tribal leaders, it's the tribe that says, you're off the island. But let's do this quickly. This was, whether you look at the New York Times, whether you think there's any value to this, I thought some of you would find this funny. 2023, so quick study of 3,000 people over the age of 65, so I can give you the standards, men or women, I don't know. And they asked 2 questions. At what age do you stop feeling young, and at what age do you start feeling old? Take a guess.
Yeah.
What age did the people say they're 60? 60 to 80, but I knew the cutoff was 65 and up. 50.
They stop feeling young at 50.
No.
65. 60.
I love it. So let's go ahead,
I haven't.
because this is the world we live in.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Valid.
What?
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I still have a job.
yeah, and let's take it a step further.
I'm 12.
Wait. So a lot of these tend to get done in university towns.
Could be.
So generally a younger population. Like if you did the same questionnaire here in Florida, you'd get a completely different set of answers, I think.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, because I haven't reached that age yet.
Right.
Although I am spoiled, right? My world is right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you every once in a while, like I had breakfast this morning out with my wife, and she said, "Don't look over there," but she didn't eat there. And then sometimes we go to the mall just to watch, and we're like, "Man, they're struggling." Or we try to see someone and get up, and it's like, "Should I go over and help?" Right? So I hear you, but let's do this one. When do you start feeling old?
I think when you can't do the things that you normally did.
Give me an age.
Are you there yet?
No, well, I mean.
Good.
Good answer.
Mark, I like it though. So Mark, I mean, I
What'd
see
you say, 80?
93.
how young. I don't even want to tell anybody how young you are. I'm going to give you the number. You're going to laugh.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. Now, again, this is the world we live in. Let's keep going because I'm going somewhere with this. So you guys look at this. This is something we use in teaching, though. This is something we use in teaching, and it matters.
You're getting fat.
So Ed, you look at this stuff and you say, do you agree with this? I do. But let's drill it down a little bit. Weight gain. Let's pick on men. Let's pick on men. They're in their 40s. Kids are 12, taking them to Little League, taking them to baseball. They're in the middle of their career. Maybe they're not as trying to make it look good for their wife. Too busy to train.
Dad bod starts.
Dad bods start to make fun. So what do you start to see? When does testosterone wane in men?
40s.
38. 30s. Where are you going at? 40's about right.
Same with menopause for women.
I wasn't gonna even speak to the estrogen in women. I'm just gonna speak to the men.
Because you're scared?
Yeah, I was scared to, but I have to tell you now. And I am embarrassed as a PT that one of the things that wasn't on my intake is, have you gone through menopause? That should have been on my intake for the last 42 years. Are you through it? Are you taking anything? Are you on hormone replacement therapy? Yes, no. Illness. You really think people are getting ill in the 50s? I do. I think the pot is on the stove, and I think the pot is starting to bubble. It is starting to bubble. And I really believe that.
And it's only getting younger, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah. Inactivity and junk food,
Agreed.
I think, are a big.
you look at loss of independence, it's such a powerful world because in our mind it's like, you mean you can't drive? No, I think they start rethinking where their vacation is, or if they're going to go on that hike. I think they start making concessions about the stairs or the elevator. I think they start making concessions on free weights versus the machine. Am I going to sit and leg press, or am I going to squat with that? Ooh, that looks dangerous. I'm going to go over there. I think you start seeing that. To say they lose independence means they can't drive, they can't get out of bed. No, I'm not saying that, but I do think you start to see that. Ed, you really believe that people are getting frail in their 70s? Oh, yeah.
Not here.
Oh, yeah.
Not in this room.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is very, very, very common. Now, we mentioned men, and I'm going to bring something up in just a second. We mentioned men with testosterone. Sarcopenia is muscle wasting. We know that. We won't talk about your ability to lift a heavy load, but just literally muscle wasting, the size, the mass of my muscles, Freddie's muscles. How much muscle mass can Freddie put on his body, and how much muscle mass at age 82? Congratulations. He is my hero,
And
right?
the answer is a lot.
Yeah, so the question is, can we without high levels of testosterone, 700, 800, 900, 1100, 1200, we're in high school. Can't stand out looking at girls for every 30 seconds, right? I'm trying to concentrate, 30 seconds, girls, 30 seconds, girls. Yeah. But I mean, right? That's what they always say, like in school, like, I can't think of anything. What did you just say? What were you thinking of at girls? It was 30 seconds. I mean, it's true. Having said that, his testosterone is not at 1100. I don't think so. Maybe he's doing supplements, maybe he's not.
It's way down.
Can he put on muscle mass? And is it that important? Does he care how he looks in his shirt? Sure he does. He's got a hot wife. But the reality is, at this point in time, is that what really is he and me? Am I trying to outrun sarcopenia? You bet your ass I am. Hell yeah, I gotta bank it now if I'm gonna make it to him. And I can't go back, dude. It's hard to go back. Now, having said that, I want you to look at this. This is not me. This is not here. But this is the general symptoms of growing older. So look at really, and Ed, why is sarcopenia so high? Because it starts at age 38 in men. Wait, you said testosterone. No, I said sarcopenia. I said testosterone. I said weight gain. I said dad bod. Guys, roll the bag up. Ed, bone loss or osteoporosis. Ladies, when is your peak bone density? Anybody?
30?
30 crown.
Could be late 20s. We are predestined. Right? Late, look it up. And by the way, I love the answer. You would have passed. It's in the 30s. Gentlemen, 30s, same. So Ed, osteoporosis is there. Yeah, Ed, do you think about that on every day of programming? I do. Do you look at people's gums and their fingernails? I do. Those are other symptoms of osteoporosis. Are you worried about vertical jump? Are you worried about broad jumps? I am. Most of the women, I always ask them, tell me your bone density. I know what a -3.6 is, a -3.2. I know a -2.4 is osteopenia. I look at those things. But I also know, ladies, and by the way, gentlemen, they only realize we have osteopenia when we fall and fracture. And now we're in the hospital at 82, they're putting in a new hip, and they do a bone density on us. So we're not the ones that are getting unscathed with bone density. Look what's next. You see how it's written? Joint inflammation or osteoarthritis. Now, we've all agreed that Ed and Sam have got a pretty good background in osteoarthritis, right? We've all signed off on that. We don't have to bring out our CVs. We are like 30 years. Shit, you kidding me? Yeah. Poor endurance, got it. Poor mobility, check. Loss of athleticism and coordination, yep. Can't do a clean to save my body. Couldn't do a lunge to save my body. I don't know if I can run across the street. You better. The light changed. Yeah. And then last, we see that. Now, this is what we see. Like if Sam says to me, because you know we have people all the time that come in here. And by the way, we have people that come in here, meaning Dr. Barrett's daughter. And so if you ask me today, if sarcopenia starts at 38, and most of your people are 50 and up, what do they complain more about? These are me looking at my scans. Like I look at you guys like, hey man, you gotta put muscle mass on. We got some newbies, right? I had Sam grab her leg. Sam, I love it now, man. There's no estrogen. She's gonna let it rip. Like, dude, you gotta get bigger. You gotta get bigger. And it's hard on men. Like, do you talk that way all the time? I'm like, dude. Yeah. She does. Don't feel bad. Don't feel like she's being rough. She'll look at how many ounces of meat is that, Ed? I'm not real hungry. I know, but you're trying to put on mass. That's 4 ounces.
Didn't I just have this conversation with somebody?
Probably. So look down here, Ed. So what this is your list. Like, cancer's really low, right? Doesn't mean you all haven't had cancer. It means I don't deal with a lot of women that are going through cancer, right? Joint replacements, I'll do that all day with you. I feel really comfortable with that. Osteoporosis, I love that. We're good at that. We're really good at that. Type 2 diabetes, I kick it to Sam. We're going to talk about that. I am setting you up. Cardiovascular disease. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. Right? These are what we see here. Fact or fiction? I love, neither one of these guys are here. That's Greg Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Guys know Greg, right? Greg's a stud. I want to be Greg. He's got great hair. Right, Donna?
He's got the Aussie accent.
He's got an Aussie accent, right? I mean, dude, he's a good-looking guy, right?
Yeah.
His arms look like crap in there, though, right?
But he's got good arms.
He's got great arms now. He's got great. You know who he's talking to? Gene. You know how old Gene is?
82.
85.
Oh, 85.
He used to be 82.
Used to be 82. Yeah. So what's happening right there, which is really great. Greg came to me this week. Bud walked in. Forgot his water bottle,
Bud
John.
the stud.
He comes in. Bud walks in. And I said, dude, you think we live in a bad section? No one's going to take your water bottle. I promise. We'll out of here. And I made fun of him. Bud looks great, right? And so, obviously, they asked. Greg says, who's that guy? Trains at 7. So I asked how old is he? Yeah, he's 87. Because that guy's 87. Greg came to me, and this is a compliment to you guys. He said, you don't know. And he told other athletes, because other athletes came to me and said, Greg was so happy that you told him that guy was 87. I'm Greg. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, John. Rick, I'm looking at you. Mark, we're looking at Dougie. He's right next to you. A couple years. You guys are showing us where we want to be. And if you don't have that Andy Anderson nice smile on your face and you don't come in and work, you're off the island. Or the cannibals will eat you. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. They will throw you out. They will work on that. We know what sarcopenia is. I say this to you guys for a reason, right? I say this all the freaking time to you guys. Sarcopenia has a definition. It has a diagnostic code. Why is that so important, and why are you yelling at me about this? Because once something has a diagnosis code, doctors can bill for it. Oh, by the way, pharmaceuticals can now be billed, right? We also talk about dynapenia, the ability to actually move that load, right? We lose that. I always say to Sambo, she's like, why are you so reckless in your training? Why do you care if you can lift this? Oh, nag. Why do you care if you can, I'm setting you up, that you can lift the same load as you can at 55? Because, honey, that's my measurement in my head of how much muscle mass I have. No, Eddie. You may be able to lift that weight, but that's not necessarily a calculation of how much muscle mass you have. Now, in here, John, how do I know if you're putting on more muscle mass? I see you pick off 155 off the ground. My assumption is, dude, you're getting strong as hell. I guess you're putting on more muscle mass, but do I know that? I don't. Why is that so important? You should know this, because there's a smart group. You're just thinking, because I want to look good in my shirts. Because I want to lift heavy things. Because my musculoskeletal system, it's important. So you're saying to me that the only reason why you want to put on more muscle mass is because you want to look good on your shirts. You want to be able to pick your wife up if she falls down the stairs, which is going to happen to one of us. I have since fallen, not Sam. And you're worried about your musculoskeletal system. How many systems do you think you have in your body? If you Google it today, like all you guys like in class. If you Google, sometimes they'll say 7.
7, yeah.
Because they mix them, right? Like musculoskeletal. But actually, if you look at a different definition, it's muscular, your muscle system, your skeletal system, right? Cardiopulmonary. Cardiac system, Nurse Ratched, or your pulmonary system, right? Yeah. Your hormonal system. Your immune system.
Your digestive system.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is anybody gonna say it? I'll say it, because I've been talking about your reproductive system. Oh shit, and I forgot about that. You should.
That train is left.
That train is left, yeah, exactly. Forget this audience, and that's very younger audience, yes. What about your urinary tract system?
Nervous system.
Thank you. And not only your nervous system, your central nervous system, your autonomic nervous system. So you guys come in here and you're gonna tell me that the only thing I'm doing for you is putting a little meat on your ass. So you look good in shorts. You don't see what's going on with all your other systems. Thank you, doctor, because I can see you acknowledging. I can see Freddie. He's got the legs crossed, the glasses off, and he's giving me the look. You're giving me the look like, okay, Ed, you're really powdering the crap out of me. You come here and you think we don't have any effect on your synapses too, on how quickly you're getting under the bar? Your immune system, that now you're not at home. Remember the old lady that was sitting there? All of the things we talk about, gentlemen, your testosterone, right? We talk about these type of things. I hate this photo, but this is Sam.
Baby.
What is, I have hair. Most of you right now believe that osteoarthritis, because we were all taught this, is a mechanical destruction of your joints. Is that true or false? Do most of you believe? It is false.
Yeah, it is false.
So I'm going to say it again. I get those faces. I can tell by their skin. They're like, wait, what? Well, we were all taught that it's wear and tear. And you grind that down. That you were born with bow-legged. Your mama was bow-legged, your papa was bow-legged, you're bow-legged, and you got medial compartment DJD Bears. That's the way it is. Shouldn't have been running. All of you think running, that's been debunked. So let's get off of that. We now know that your joints are living and breathing parts of your body. And we understand anymore that when you come in like, I better not. I don't know where it is. It's right here. It's right here. I better not, coach. What did you do? I have osteoarthritis in my knee. You do? Yeah, my doctor took an x-ray. Right. And if I x-ray every single one of you,
You all have.
except Maho, because she's one. Fallon's got away.
I got it.
So the question becomes, because this was early in my training, do the scans tell what's going on with the patient? Gives you a piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it differently, Janet. You have 3 athletes, 3 scans. Does the worst x-ray dictate the worst symptoms?
No.
We know that.
Good job.
So when you come in and you're talking to me about your joints, let me tell you what I'm processing. What's your sugar intake?
Exactly.
Inflammation.
Inflammation. You have 3 goals. They will be our goals for this year. They are non-negotiable. They are non-negotiable.
Emotion is illusion.
I have told Sam I would never make more copies. And Mark, what do I end up doing? Making more copies. You are reading assignment 1. You will read both of these articles by Dr. Howard Lux. Look him up, follow him. You can get a paid subscription or not. I don't have a paid subscription. And you are going to go through Howard Lux talking to you about osteoarthritis. Fair enough. We only have 3 goals. That's all we got to do. That's our homework. That's it. They're right here. Take 1, take 2. I was going to put your names on them because you know how that goes. Like, did you get one, Janet? Janet? Yeah.
It's only a lot of reading if you do it.
Yeah. Is there going to be a test? Maybe. Maybe. I'm going to ask you, like, you remember that front page where it was written, like, for kindergartners on the left-hand side? is the wear and tear, and then the right-hand side, sorry about that. And then the right-hand side talked about metabolic diseases and inflammation. And you remember are you tied in over here? You good? Are you good? Oh yeah, I'm good. Sure. Because Facebook tells us a lot. Facebook tells us a lot. So you know that, right? Did I see you at the, you did. Listen, that knee, it'll get better. Just take it easy. So we got number 1. Let's go to number 2. Sammy's tearing it up. We have to measure more things with you guys. So I negotiated all of 2024 and 2025 not to make you guys a part of the study, part of a study. Trisha's looking, I love those crinkled head. Wait a minute, what? So January of 2024, January 26th through the 28th, we were at the Wyndham Grand. We were asked to go. They paid for Sam and I to go and wear their credentials. Freddie, they asked us to go and represent the Arthritis Research Institute of America. It was the International Metabolic Health Summit in Clearwater. You're tracking me, right? I'm trying to tell you the story. What were we supposed to do? Why did they pay for Sam and I to go? Why did they even give us business cards? Because we were in the audience and our job was to find researchers in the United States or in the world. And they wanted us to do a study on you guys looking at osteoarthritis and symptoms and metabolic health. That was January 2024. The problem with doing studies is a lot of you guys get in a group that very often I don't agree you're going to get better doing X, Y, and Z. And then a lot of you guys are in a group that I do believe you're going to get better doing X, Y, and Z. And I do not want to deliver care to you guys or a training methodology for the sake of a study. And so throughout 2024 and into 2025, I was still negotiating that people very often anymore don't agree and believe in studies. Because quickly now they look to see who funded the study. And it's PepsiCo, and it's Frito-Lay, and it's the people that fund the study. And so the people that want to support Sam and I have now agreed to say, look, do what you do. Train your seniors, get them better. We are going to keep with the same training methodologies on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Same plan. We're going to do the same squat, press, deadlift. You're going to continue to jump. You're going to continue to work type 2. You're going to continue to work power cleans. You're going to get better at your push. You're going to get better at your pull. You're going to do all the damn things that we do, including this summer, where we do the Poliquin strength training. It's hot. It's easy. We know those things. That's not going to change. However, the question becomes, I'm going to kick it to Sam now. How do I take people who know our methodologies, right? I mean, you guys, I know you guys. I'm friends with you guys. I don't want to keep asking Gene to lift more weight. There's a point of no return. I have to be careful with you guys. I do know your ages. There are changes in your body. There are arthritic joints. You have some anterior slippage in your low back. You do. Many of you do. Posturally, you do. You do have osteoporosis. You do have high blood pressure. So let's not fool ourselves. Ma, would you stand again? We're not 20. I just wanted to make sure.
Almost 21.
Yes, almost 21.
She's 20 and a half.
So Sam,
20 and a half.
what can we do if I give them the same training protocol? If I say to Mickey, baby, it's Wednesday, we're squatting. Mick, we're deadlifting. By 5s or by 3s or by 10s? Yes. Yes.
Well, when I start, will you go around and do things that are under?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So you guys know we track attendance. Like that's how we track attendance. That's how the new coaches learn the name sometimes. But you know, how many of you knew Charlotte? Know Charlotte? A few of you. So, you know, Charlotte had a stroke basically the day she came in to train, and everybody quickly knew something was wrong. But had Charlotte not shown up, we would have been reaching out to Charlotte. So most of you know that if you're not going to show up, you know to text me and tell me why, so that we don't worry. You know, if you're absent a couple of days, unless you're a habitual like no-shower, we've got you pegged. But yeah, that's another story. But there's a graph later. There's 7 days in a week, and most of you are only with us 3. That's 4 of not being with us. And if you're with us 2 because something happened, now you're not with us 5. And if there's a week that you only show up once, now you're with us 1 and not with us 6. Those odds aren't stacked in our favor for our outcomes. And so selfishly, our success is based on checking the box 3 times a week for everybody. It does matter. If I train as often as y'all train, I'd look like Janice. You know, I'd be leaner and jacked. But I don't. If I did, I'd be stronger and better. It's just a fact. You need more input at your age, our age, your age, not necessarily yours, but we need more stimulus to get the same results as she gets in 3 days a week. We're not hormonally gifted like she is. It takes more input, not less. More work, not less. Not more rest either. Is it okay if I tell you? So postulate the positive. You guys have heard this, right? I have never been so inspired as I have been this year. And I'm not easily impressed. I am not easily impressed. I'm more impressed, I think, with your performance than I was when I got Paul his muscle up at Rebels. But this year, so I'll do it without saying names. We have an athlete who I have the pleasure of training privately, who got bit by a tick.
What?
Got bit by a tick.
Lyme.
And has developed Lyme disease. Now, we think we caught it in time. Went through the antibiotics. But I watched a 69-year-old go from, and here's somebody who, like, my knees hurt, my back hurts when I get up. I can never tell that she has joint issues, and it kind of irritates me when that happens and they're older than I am. So, always impressed with that. She went from like super stud to in a lot of pain. Not being able to, handstand push-ups requires this, right? So like we had this, but we definitely didn't have this. And you needed this in your wrists for a clean, a front squat, a handstand, a lot of stuff. It hit her neck a little bit, cervical spine, it hit her knees quite a bit, but all the joints that you need to do CrossFit seems to be the one that attacked her. And so for 3 weeks, we tried to train one-on-one, but it was a crapshoot. Sometimes I couldn't tell if the tears in her eyes were from pain or from, it was pain. Mm-hmm. It was pain. And we took a short period off so that she could get, maybe a week or 2, so that she could get through some treatment. But when she came back, I didn't want her to do the open this year. So I got somebody who can't do this, and her knees hurt, her neck kind of hurts, and I got to get her ready for the open. So we started working on the things, like even a burpee, guys, a push-up, not just a handstand push-up and a wall walk. But we started working on some things, and she said to me one day, I have to think about, this may be how I feel for the rest of my life. I'm trying to confront what might be actual, but I'm also postulating the positive. And I watched her. We were over there. It was the day, I don't know if she knew I had tears in my eyes when this happened, but I'm down on the floor with her, and she's face down, and she's starting to wall walk. I'm like, let's just try. We had taped the shit out of her wrists. We did all kinds of weird shit, put wrist wraps on her. I'm probably swinging the incense, please let this happen. And I said, I just want you to go up a couple steps. Because I thought if we could wall plank, I only have this much flexion, and the further back she goes, I get more, right? So I just wanted her to take a couple steps. She takes a couple steps, she comes back down, and like, I finally said, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we at? And it was a 6 or a 7. I'm like, okay, that's not good. So she did it again. She came down, she said, I think I can go a little further. I'm like, you're the boss. She's also no dummy. I'm like, you're the boss, let's go. I'll be damned, she didn't walk almost all the way to the wall. And she came back down, and she got down, and she looked up, and her eyes were a little watery, and I couldn't tell, like, holy shit, like, she came down fast, too. Like, she wasn't crying from pain, she was crying from excitement that, not crying, but she was teary-eyed, from excitement that she did it. And the more we did, the better she got. By the end of the session, we were handstanding. The next day, we were handstand push-upping. 2 days later, we were handstand push-upping. I'm not saying it wasn't comfortable. I know it was very uncomfortable for her. And I'm not one of those trainers that's going to ask somebody to do something that puts themselves in a position that's gonna hurt them. That's not what I was doing. But we were having a little give and take. How much do you wanna take? I mean, all of you that have OA in your knees, like Trish, you know, when you first start to squat, it's not comfortable, right? No, what does it take, 5 or 10 minutes before it is? But you have to get through 5 or 10 minutes that it doesn't feel good. I've shown a couple of you, Paula, that band and squat. I squat on a band now, under my butt, probably for 5 minutes before I feel like I can squat without pain. Ed and I aren't without pain every day, but we know that the more we move, the better we feel.
No question.
And postulating the positive and focusing on what you can do versus what you can't. And we had to do that. We had to say, okay, we can't use our wrists, so we're gonna burpee on dumbbells, we're gonna push up on dumbbells with a band to take some weight off of it. But we worked through what she could do, and I will tell you, she's gonna do well in the open this year with Lyme disease. Wow. It's probably one of the, as a human being, you have these aha moments that you'll always remember. And not only like, will I remember that because I was just so inspired, but it gives me something to strive for when I don't feel like doing something. She showed up every damn day. She shows up all the time. She never misses because she doesn't feel good. Postulate the positive. Deal with what you're dealing with, but a positive person is gonna get more out of their training than somebody who's woe is me.
Yeah.
Work a little harder. Jean Jones said to me one day when she got married, the admiral that walked you down, four-star colonel that walked, 4-star, 3-star then,
4-star general.
general that walked her down the aisle, said that when you retire, your new job is to take care of yourself, right?
Take care of your body.
Take care of your body. You've been taking care of everybody else your whole life. I'm not there yet. I'm excited to get there where my job is to just take care of my body. But a lot of you are. If you're retired, your job is to take care of your body. That's not just coming to see us 3 out of 7 days a week. It's figuring out what you're doing the other 4 and paying attention to your diet. When you're Maho's age and even Fallon's age, you can get away with a lot. Ed and I remember training CrossFit St. Pete, so I was 38, he was 40 something, maybe early 50s. And one of the women would come in to train with us on a Saturday morning, and she'd have bananas under one arm and Red Bull under the other, and she was hungover like crazy. And she beat us all every Saturday. It's totally hungover. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. You can still drink, but if you're gonna drink, you better have your ass in the gym the next day. It'll be better for you. It'll get it out of your system quicker. You're gonna have to pay attention to your diet a little bit more because your hormone profile doesn't support being anabolic and trying to gain muscle without more attention. So you're going to have to. You may have to track your diet and your training a little harder. Those of you who don't see those little books that are on the
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
We'll go right there.
Yep. Those little books that are on, Tracy bought us like 5,000 of them when we opened. They've been behind the desk. I think we still have 4,995 of them back there. A few of you have them. But you don't have to write everything you did down, but the things that make a difference. My 3 rep today was 100, 115, 125, and 135 pounds. That matters, so that when you go to deadlift again, you know where you ended and you know where you need to start, right? Can you go back one?
I can't.
Yeah. And finally, like, you guys, it's what Ed said, y'all need to use each other to build each other up. Don't use each other to complain about what's wrong. What's wrong with you is what's wrong with everybody. Y'all are dealing with the same things, but celebrating your PRs and I jumped rope today and somebody got their, young Eileen, 38, got her first ever pull-up in open gym.
Yeah.
She's trained with us for 15 years at Rebels and she's just getting a
That's
pull-up.
amazing.
Goal number 2, you're looking at them. So, coach, what am I looking at? Yeah, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Don't freak out. But we're going to do those tests. Oh my God, I'm going to call in sick that day. I don't like tests. I have to study. You don't have to study. We do these all the time.
You call in sick, we'll know it because we take them.
Yeah, well, and if,
Going to lunch that day?
yeah, so listen where we're at.
Breakfast that day?
We've done 2 goals. First one's easy. You have homework. 1 and 2. Read it. Understand it. If you don't understand it, ask. I don't understand these metabolic conditions. I don't understand insulin sensitivity. I don't understand what has to do with my osteoarthritis. Number 2, you gotta dial training in. Nothing new. You gotta dial it in. Gotta do something with our attendance sheets. Maybe sometimes people think they're here, but when you see this checkbox system and you look at it, you're like, shit, I don't have as many checks as she does. Well, she was here all the time. Dial it in. One more thing. This is Sam with her hair. Yeah. The last thing that I know I need to be able to measure with you guys.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, there's a lot of things to measure. But the last thing that I said to Sam for the next 5 years of my career, it's not your blood pressure, it's not your resting heart rate, although those are great. It's not your cholesterol. I don't really need to know your uric acid. But I do need to know how much muscle mass you're putting on. That's my job. That's what I'm paid to do. I need to be able to see if I can retard sarcopenia. And so I said to Sam, I hope you're seeing from my perspective, I can't keep having Jean Jones lift more weight. I can't yell at her any louder. She's pushing, she's pulling, she's jumping. She now sees the significance of double unders. She didn't know what it serves as a purpose. Yeah, Libby, if anybody sees Libby's double unders, she's lost them somewhere in the gym. She had them. We don't know where they're at. Libby, we've now told everybody. Yes, it has a higher purpose, more coordination. Yes, now I get it, Ed.
What's a double under?
Yes, it's spinning a rope. You jump once, Rick, and you spin that rope twice under your feet. And you just keep going with that. But the last piece, and I'm looking at Dr. McNeely here, as I said to Sam, you know, I know what my 1 rep deadlift is. I know what my 1 rep back squat. I know what your press is. I know what my 1 mile run is. I know how many pull-ups Sam can do in a row, butterfly or strict. Those are all great measurements. I've been threatening you guys for 5 years that Grace, the workout, is a better measurement of your fitness. Hey, Trish has
Trish just grew up.
I will fail miserably.
Yeah, you guys doing Grace tells me more than you giving me your triglycerides, your resting heart rate, your cholesterol. Great. Cool, that's awesome. Can you pick up a weight from the ground and put it overhead 30 times, and how much time does it take and how much weight? Because that's a measurement tool that we've now done for 11 years of all ages. We have a really good feel for that.
And if your grace, time, and load is improving, your blood markers will improve. It's a fact. your 1 mile run improves, your blood work improves. If your deadlift improves, your blood work improves.
So we're gonna take this to goal 3. So those of you that know, we did this last year, from Thanksgiving till Christmas.
It was awesome.
Thereabouts, Halloween till.
The results were awesome.
The results were off the charts, literally off the charts. We did a 3-week, if you will, I want to call it a challenge.
It was.
Gyms do this all the time. But we've got to dial in these items. And Dr. McNeely, for me, the measurement tool that I want is I want to know these. By the way, let me tell you TBD. To be determined is going to be something that takes 12 to 15 minutes.
Maybe 20.
Maybe 20. If you
For
look
20.
at these things,
And AMRA?
maybe.
Probably.
Because I need something with a longer time duration, right? So I know what all of these mean. I didn't have Sam read the Journal on Aging. But guess what they promote? Getting up and down from the ground.
Burpee.
Like lifting things with resistance. Because they carry groceries. That's a novel concept, that people have to carry groceries. Don't just have small weights. Challenge those people. That's what the Institute of Aging is now telling the coaches. You're already there. You found your store. These are your marks. Ed, what do you think TBD is going to be? I can tell you that it's going to be something that's 12 to 20 minutes long. It needs to be something of longer duration, not just a quick grace that you guys knock out in 3 to 4 minutes or 5 or 2.5. I've told you that I need a measurement. I'm going somewhere and I know you know it. It's sitting over there in the corner. Now this is Sam's showing you guys how much time you have when you were a mother of 3, your husband was a mother of 3, father of 3. Yeah, this day and age, you don't know.
I know.
He also did the lawn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you cleaned the house.
Oh, yeah.
You ironed. I didn't say you. Could be a guy, could be a lady. And you cooked. This is what you did when you worked. And now the question is, Sam and I talk about this all the time, like, they're busy. Yeah. They're so busy. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Doing this. Now I did this with Sam the other day. There's 24 hours in a day, there's 168 hours in a week. She said, no, hold on. You have to give him 8 times 7 is 56 off of 168. I'm pretty quick with math. I'm gonna round it down. That's 100 hours. How many hours do I ask you to train with me?
3.
Wow. Wow, and we believe, now of course, that's what we do. We believe that that's gonna impact your health more than any medication you're taking, more than any supplement you're taking. We believe for you to literally give me 3 hours a week. And if you can't make that, oof, I don't think you're gonna make the island. I just don't think Maddie is tall and big. She will throw you off the island again. Now look, Sammy is going to start putting things out. So whether you're a part of this program that she's going to start, we want to be open access, right? We want to try to have open access, fair to say? So I was the one embarrassed to tell you in the top left-hand corner the tips of the week.
Oh, I thought you meant the AED. I could point to the AED.
No. The nutrition tips of the week. That those are going to be changing. So do me a favor, as much as you're so freaked out about what the workout is, like, Coach, are we doing burpees? Like, oh my God, a burpee. Wow.
I hate burpees.
Yeah.
They're life.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Look at that tip. She wants to make things open access. Now, I am telling you, I'm looking at Doug because he's been through this. I want you all to consider putting away $8.33 a month for 12 months. That's $100. And I want everybody in here tested on the in-body. That's the 580. Why does that matter?
What is that?
Yeah, that's the machine that's in the corner. And what that machine in the corner, and I'll let Sammy dive in, but I will tell you why we chose the 580 and not the 270 or the 240. So all of you have a scale at home, because we have it. Ours is the Ironman. Tanita Ironman. And I stand on it, and I got my age and my sex. I have to put those variables in. And then I stand on it, and it gives me my body fat percentage. Right. Now here's the issue. Why did you choose the 580 and not the 270? Because the 270 is a lot cheaper. Well, the 270 does what my Tanita does. That's pretty rude for me to say, right? But it's an algorithm. It uses an algorithm to tell me. So a lot of these machines are in gyms. And when we were going through the training, they said if you want to win the contest, you might have to lie about your age and your sex, because that changes the variables on the stats that come out. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, stop. You're telling me that this machine is just going to use an algorithm to tell me what a 64-year-old man should be. I'm like, dude, I feel like I work a little bit harder than a lot. I want to know my real numbers. That is why.
It's not a calculation.
It's not a calculation.
A lot of machines use calculations with some impedance to determine the numbers versus 100% impedance.
These are your stats. Well, I wanted to see your body fat percentage, weight. I wanted to see your muscle mass. I wanted to see if she's symmetrical from left to right, right to left. We want to look at the amount of, you want to take it from here? Things that you're looking at. You shouldn't be embarrassed. These are great stats.
We should all look like that.
That's what I said.
So this is the top half of the report. Will you switch it down? And that's the bottom half. Go back to the top. It just blew it up better. What has been cool about this is, so the in-body doesn't just measure with bioimpedance and electrical current straight up. It measures your left leg and your right leg separately, your left arm and your right arm separately, and then your trunk. And so it's giving us a lot more data, and I was not a fan of doing this initially, and I've been convinced. It gives us body fat mass in pounds and a percentage. It gives us skeletal muscle mass, which is one of those numbers that we want to track, right? If I have 64 pounds of skeletal muscle mass, the arrow up, the arrow down, and the arrow in the middle. So this is above normal, normal range, below normal range. So the ranges have been, in-body's been around for a long time. They have a lot of data that they've amassed as far as normative ranges. But, you know, we want to be in the above normal range. That's good, especially at our age. So the older that you are, the more you want to be in this above normal range for muscle mass. And hopefully, like I'm trying to get a little bit more below normal for body fat mass. It gives us our BMI, which everybody can say is bullshit, and I used to say it too. But then I started training Janice and Sandy. And I watched what happens when their body fat went down and their muscle mass went up. And Sandy probably tested on the higher side of normal because she was muscular and had a little bit more body fat. And they're both now in a normal range, not in a below normal range.
What does that stand for, BMI?
Yeah.
Basal, no.
Body mass.
Body mass index. So it takes your height and your weight, right? Is that it?
Yeah,
And your
it's good.
height and weight?
Age, gender.
Age and gender?
Yeah.
It's not wrong, but as America got larger, and I was one of them at Rebels, I was a lot thicker when we started a gym. I was more muscular, but I had a higher body fat, and Ed and I both tested overweight on a BMI index, and I never would have.
As did Paul.
As did, Paul Chapman, our super jacked young.
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I remember Paul.
Because of his massive muscle mass. Now, if I had gotten my body fat down, I could have easily become in range. And you guys you're all on social media, you've all seen those images of the beaches in the 1950s and 60s. All of those people tested normal in BMI. And we're pushing back against it now because we're a larger society, and that's not right. So I'm not gonna say BMI is bullshit. Ed finally tests normal on a BMI, but in the picture of all of us at the Arthritis Research Institute 10 years ago, he tested above. So I'm not gonna-
And I had hair.
And he had
It was right here, Ed.
And that weighed a lot.
So I don't want to be one of those people that just says it's BS, because we have people that are testing normal in it and they look normal as well. Body fat percentage, we flipped to the next, sorry. And this is one of the reasons why we opted up is I love skin folds. I like pinching people and figuring out their body fat. I'm good at it. I like to look at it for other reasons than just total body fat. Based on where you're storing body fat, you can get a bit of a insight into where hormones might be screwed up and how we could affect those with training and diet. And I've done that for 15 years now.
Can I interrupt a minute?
Yes.
So Sam is highly, highly, highly trained in skin fold measurements. She trained under Charles Poliquin. Yeah. And so she and I are old school people, right? Like, technology's out now. She wants to pinch everybody. But technology's out, Sam. And it might even be better than you know. But what she's saying, and she's setting the stage, that your fat is in different areas of your body. And now I'm gonna let you.
Well, like I could get Janice's arm, and it'll tell me Janice has massive triceps. I've noticed it lately. Like when she's upside down, her triceps are massive. Her tricep pinch is really lean, and that tells us something about her hormonal profile. What I can't get to on some people when the fat's under the muscle, the visceral fat, I can't get to it. You're gonna pinch lean because it's under the muscle, and I can't access it. So I can't be accurate with some people because of that, and this measures that.
So that, just to point out, so that's another push. Even when Sam was pinching, we couldn't get it. You know, and I'm picking on men. It's those hard bellies, right? You grab it, and you have soft bellies, a layer of tissue. You have hard bellies. That fat, that visceral fat, that's the dangerous fat that we talk about.
That's under the muscle.
It's under the muscle, so she couldn't get to that in her chest.
And so we really can't tell, other than a circumference, we can't tell how that's reducing, but now we can. So that was kind of exciting, especially, cardiovascular disease was one of the things that was on our list. And, we are worried about your heart. We never talk about it because it just kind of comes with what we do. But this was exciting in that way.
Can you explain the
Yeah, this is weird, right? So
Thank you for asking that.
yeah, you want to be under 100.
Yeah.
And the older you are, the more we go out in this range. But we're trying to get our little. I need to be here. Past 5 years, I've packed it on in the middle. Like I can feel it. That's where I'm starting to. I need to move this needle here. I know how, I just haven't addressed it yet, like a lot of people. But we need to move the needle in that direction. I'm excited to do it in 3 months and 6 months.
TB, there's not a percentage, so we just had this conversation. We just sat with them to say, you can look at body fat percentage, and you can kind of say, where should I be, where should I be? On visceral fat, we were trying to say, is there a percentage? The piece that he said is the shaded area.
Gotta stay away.
Yeah. Below the 100, and that's that aggregate of her age and her sex. That's that shotgun blast that you kind of see.
Is that everyone your age? Females your age?
It's comparing me against my age demographic.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But this is my data. Yes.
The 47.7 is you.
It's me.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay.
47.7.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That is me. This is the.
So you're well
aggregate.
below 100, which is
Well
where
below 100.
which is where you want to be.
Yeah, but we've all got problems. Flip it up.
Yep.
The other thing and it's kind of cool because if you have an injury, and you haven't been able to train a limb, it's interesting, we can break it down into right and left arm, right and left leg, and trunk. But this is of interest to us, and Janice has tried to help us a little bit too in understanding it. It's new to us, but intra and extracellular water, so 70% of your body's water, yes, and the majority of that water is inside your cells where it's doing its job. When the intracellular water escapes and becomes outside the cell, it indicates a problem when there's a larger ratio of that. And we were able to track this on, I mean, everybody I think knows that I was talking about Janice with the postulate positive, but she was able to see an increase in extracellular water as she was going through one of the higher inflammatory stages of this condition. And so it's kind of cool. They say if you injure your shoulder and you're in a highly inflamed state, that right arm is going to show more extracellular water than intracellular water. If you're generally total body is indicating it's not just in one place, it's a great indicator that you're inflamed and that you should do something and start picking off that list that we said, my diet, my sleep, and my hydration, because we're working on the other part in here. But if you get, and it's 0.36 to, Jan, do you remember what the norm is? I don't remember. But it's in that 0.36 to 0.39. It's a very small window that reports healthy, and outside that window, it's reporting something else. I do like this little graph at the bottom, so every time we scan somebody, it gives us the first scan. Now, yes, my body weight went up. There's a specific time and place that, there's a specific way, not right after you train, not right after a bunch of water, like there are some criteria for getting on that. And I jumped on it, I wanted a second scan, I needed to make the machine work. I jumped on it right after a workout. So my body weight went up right after a workout. It could have actually gone up. My skeletal muscle mass didn't go up 3 pounds in a week. So this actually, I was playing with what happens if I do it
What
right
kind
after
of steroids
I train.
are you
Yeah, right. 5% body fat didn't go down 3% in a week. So that's bullshit and I can erase it. But it was just, what we wanted to show was as you continue to test, it gives us a historical graph of what kind of progress you're making, good or bad.
I think the two follow-ups to that, the only piece I know about intracellular and extracellular, a lot of the studies that are coming out now, and I had to sort this out in my head, on early onset dementia. Now, this would maybe make sense what Sam just said, but you're seeing a lot of these people who have a lot of extra cellular fluid outside the cell. And we look at that as some of these comorbidities that are happening in our people. So my point to that is, Ed, what are you really looking at? Symmetry left, right. I'm looking at muscle mass. I'm looking at body fat percentage. And again, I love that Evie asked about visceral fat, because the only comment I would make is you gotta be below 100. There's not this percentage points. And I think if you were lab rats, which a lot of you are lab rats, I would say to you, take a test and just bank it. Just leave it there. Do all the parameters Sam said. You gotta pee, you gotta do the certain things, put the data points down. A year from now, do the test. Train, do your attendance, don't get sick, do all those things. Don't have one of those years, right, where, hey man, my hip was bad, my hip was bad, my hip was bad for 5 months, and then Trish had a total hip. Yeah. And so, I mean, you look at 7 months of her training that she's interrupted. I don't know what those numbers will look like, but
it's good to have a mechanism to track data. And it's funny, 30 years ago, we were tracking macros and tracking our training like we were crazy people. And then something just happens in life where it's not as important. You're busy, I'm older, it doesn't matter. I wanted to look good naked now, those times are gone. Now I just want to look decent in clothes. But there's a reason to measure this stuff and not to stop. Or if you stop, to re-engage, whether it's your diet, your training, all of these variables. You're tracking your blood work every 3 to 6 months. Why wouldn't you track something that you have total control over where a lot of this goes versus leaving a crapshoot in the hands of maybe a physician who wants to help you through medications versus your lifestyle?
So how often are you supposed to do that?
No more than, in the program, we're gonna go every 2 weeks because I
In
want
the
data.
program.
I
Yeah.
want data, I
I'm
want a
not in there.
baseline.
I'm not in that, but.
That's okay, no. So,
No.
once you test, it would probably be about the same as if I was gonna pinch you with body fat every 3 months.
Yeah.
You could do it
So
monthly
every
if
three.
you wanted.
Every 3
Yeah,
months.
we're pricing it in such a way that, we do have to pay for the machine, but we're not just gonna hand you a piece of paper. We're gonna hand you a
Yeah.
piece of paper and sit down with you and say, this is what this means and this is what you need to do.
Well, how is that equivalent to a lot of the, scales that do all of that?
The
They do
difference is,
viscerate fat.
the difference is the frequency here is greater or
Correct.
different.
Is at least a good, biomarker, a
It's
good
huge.
something to watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing that was cool, you guys saw, it gave you bone mass, and while it's not a DEXA scan, it doesn't measure bone density, it measures bone weight.
But
And they
mine
told us,
does all of that, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it at least something to be,
it's just gonna be at a higher level of accuracy, especially with uppers, cause that frequency of the scale you're
Yeah.
scanning
Yeah.
has to go up, and based on, how expensive they are and how well made they are, that's, we're looking at something that's why there's a stadiometer over there to make sure that we get the right height, cause if we misestimate the height, it screws up the test because it's telling the frequency, like it's telling it how high up to measure. It's really interesting, like some of the science behind it.
I'm sold, sign me up.
We have the same scale at home, and there's an algorithm that those cheaper scales use based on your age, like what Ed was saying was that if he gets on your scale and says that he's 64 and he weighs 160 and he's a man and you're whatever height, he'll get one reading. But if he gets back on that scale and says he's 50, it'll give him a different reading.
And if I say I'm a female and I'm 23,
but I know, but the fact
It
is.
should always give you the same numbers.
Right, and I understand that being more in-depth and more
Accurate.
frequency-wise.
Yeah.
I get that. I guess what I'm asking is for over the years that I've been doing that, it's been the same height
Yep.
and the same sex.
yeah.
Yep.
So the only thing that's changing is weight and then all the other stuff.
Right.
What I've noticed is as my weight goes down, my muscle is going up. Is that, I mean.
It's possible.
It's possible.
So
As
that's
strong
what
as
I'm-
you are, it's possible.
It's
That's
possible.
what I'm asking is at least that's a good marker for in between the 3 months of this to say, it'd be interesting to see.
To compare them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you make a great point, Suzette. The problem I have when we're really hard on people losing weight, I'm so happy I lost 10 pounds. Sometimes I'll look at my athletes and I'm like,
You can't lose 10 pounds.
yeah, because what percentage of that 10 pounds with muscle? And it's so hard.
But it's really, really hard now that I'm back after my cancer.
Yeah.
And I'm lifting heavier and I'm doing more and the kettlebells are heavy.
Yep.
I just find the weight is kind of like, it's like ounces kind of,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like pulling hen's teeth.
And it might be like, is your protein high enough? What is your carbohydrate
So
tolerance?
is it muscle heavier than fat?
5 pounds of muscle weighs the same as 5 pounds of fat, but
So it's
muscle
like
takes
feathers
up less
and-
space. 5 pounds of muscle takes up a little less space than 5 pounds of fat.
Okay.
That's why you can weigh the same and be smaller.
And Suzette, let me just jump on that. I can tell you, just based on the audience that's here today, if all I do is train them, but if this is a oversimplification, I would bet you that 70% of the people in here do not eat enough protein based on the training 3 days a week that I am dying to get them in here, and they never miss, and they give me the loads, but they leave here, and I would bet, and by the way, I think, and I'm a conservative guy, 70%,
Probably almost all of us.
you think, Ed?
It's
So-
hard, but it's not.
And the reason I say that to you all, and the reason I invested in this is, I know you feel good, that's cool. course you feel good. I mean, you work out, that's awesome. But metabolically, I guess what I'm saying is, are we building muscle? It's a yes, no. It's just a yes, no. And we have to figure out over the course of your guys' lives, are we successful at that? And I think this may be the missing piece. That's my opinion. The only other piece that we didn't bring up, we used to test you guys this.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to freak you guys out because these stats have been out there forever. Your hand grip dynamometry.
Yeah, it will lay grip strength and blood pressure. So we have the blood pressure cuff and the grip strength dynamometer. So we would do grip strength, we do blood pressure, the in-body, and then grip strength. And those things will show up on the bottom of your report. So we're also tracking, I don't know, it's just something that's well studied, so it's worth tracking. And blood pressure. Oh.
Seize the day.
Play with your grandkids.
Yeah.
Time
Pick
to
'em
eat.
And decorate the tree.
And decorate the tree. And by the way, there's some visitor here. It looks a little bit like Ann Unger, but I'm not sure.
She came back.
She flew all the way in.
So guys, don't forget, we're gonna leave these up here. We want you to take one.
Yeah, make sure you get one of each.